Meu nome é Esly Carvalho e eu sou presidente da EMDR Treinamento e Consultoria. E mesmo de longe nós apoiamos o Janeiro Branco, uma iniciativa, uma campanha importante da psicoeducação da saúde mental. A nossa contribuição vai ser uma série de vídeos com entrevistas de profissionais ao redor do mundo, enfatizando e nos informando sobre a importância da saúde mental. A seguir você vai ver mais uma dessas entrevistas. Tudo de bom, Janeiro Branco.
My name is Udi Oren. I'm a clinical and medical psychologist from Israel, trained in the US. I'm the chair of the EMDR Israel Association, co-founder, and past president of the Association of EMDR Europe, an EMDR trainer. And I'm really pleased to having been invited by Esly to talk about mental health issues regarding the awareness of Mental Health Week or month in Brazil. I personally believe that mental health issues are a central theme in human life, in every person's life, not just people who are affected by these or other difficulties, but every man, woman, child has a major impact by his mental health capacities and also by his mental health difficulties. I see that as true in both physical health, in mental health, in general human functioning, be it in school, at work, and family life, and society. What we know today is that there's a major impact of life events. Some of them are called traumas, but I prefer to call them just difficult life events on the way people develop and the way people function in their both young and also later aspects or chapters of life. We know that difficult life events that can be based on major trauma, but also on difficult environments, difficult relationships, and just the way families and societies, schools, communities function can have a deep and ongoing, long impact on the way people develop and the way people live their lives. Much research has been done on these matters over the past decades, and today we know for sure that when we look at people that function in a very positive way, in a very good way, and also on the way people who function in less than optimal ways, in both cases, we can look back and see the roots of their resources and their difficulties in the way they have experienced life from birth until the time that we see them. We know that these experiences begin by having an impact on memory. We know that memory includes the events that we have gone through, but this is not just a history book. It's much more than that. It is, in a way, a manual that tells us about the world, about people, about the way we are, but it also teaches us how to function in this world on a physical, psychological, cognitive, interpersonal ways. So these events are really the bedrock of who we are as human beings. Now, psychology has said that for probably more than a century. There's nothing new about that. But the fact that research has proven that beyond a shadow of a doubt adds to that statement and adds to it more power, more credence than we used to have before. Now, the fact that we know that is important. It's helpful. It broadens our understanding. It deepens our understanding of human beings, of human functioning. But without a way to have an impact on these memories, we're kind of left with knowledge, but kind of helpless in the face of the impact of these events on our lives. And that's the big news that we have for you today and over the last couple of decades, where a new kind of psychotherapy called eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, in shorthand EMDR therapy, has come into life and has gained respectability in the mental health, but also outside it, based on an extended amount of research that has been taken place both in the Americas, in Europe, in Asia, and has proven it to be extremely effective, both in the treatment of post-traumatic stress disorder, but in general, in the treatment of what we call trauma-based disorders or difficulties. Now, when we talk about trauma-based disorders, we're really talking about the whole array, the whole variety of difficulties that human beings face. It could be at the level of a diagnosis, but it can also be at a level of just day-to-day difficulties that children face at home or in school, adults face at work, in their marriages, in their families, in their communities. So we're talking about a psychotherapy that in many ways is the 21st century psychotherapy. It's a psychotherapy based on research, it's based on knowledge regarding the brain, and even more importantly than those, it is highly effective and relatively short-term. So it can be used both in the public facilities, in private practices, in schools, in offices, everywhere people live, they can gain from this form of psychotherapy. And I believe that this knowledge and this ability to be helped by something that is so efficient can have an impact on mental health, physical health, and the general community health, both in Brazil and around the world. I sincerely hope that this was helpful and that the Mental Health Awareness Month in Brazil will be very successful. All the best.